Chapter 3 The Forest Array. Even if Turgle tagged along with me, there's no way he would have made this trip without getting caught by Imperial troops. Quite frankly, I don't know how he made it the first time. Almost every section of the forest was either filled with dangerous animals or stormtroopers. I gotta find that temple fast before these bucketheads do. The uneven terrain was a bit rough to navigate on, but I did find some alternate routes that involved more climbing. In the midst of the forest, everything sounded peaceful. I lost myself listening to the sounds of birds chirping and the wind whistling around the trees. BD-1 tapped my shoulder for a moment, warning me to freeze. I hid behind a rocky pillar and stood still as a few probe droids passed by. That was a close one. Before I could ask BD why he was panicking, a loud roar echoed above me. I looked up and watched as a giant Mogu jumped down from the cliffside. Whoa, easy now. The creature only roared more aggressively as he got ready to attack. I slowly spread my feet apart with the lightsaber in hand, and the ignition alone triggered the Mogu to pounce. I dodged his first swing by rolling to the right. Once I saw an opening, I swung my saber upward, slashing at its legs. Now that he was distracted briefly, I got ready to finish him off. But I lost my footing and felt the creature's paw swipe at me as my body collided into the wall. I slowly turned my head and saw my lightsaber was a few inches away from me. The creature continuously charged while I force-pushed rocks onto him. I tried my hardest to ignore the pain I was in as I crawled to reach my lightsaber. Unfortunately for me, the Mogu grasped my leg, pulling me away. As if I wasn't in enough pain already, the creature lifted me up, proceeding to slam me down on the ground like a rag doll. All of the wind was knocked out of me as I felt my vision beginning to blur. BD! Stem! BD-1 tossed me his stem as the creature lifted me up once more. Whatever strength I had left was used to inject the healing stem into my arm. It took about a few seconds for the stem to work, but I regained my focus a bit. I took a deep breath and reached for my lightsaber using the Force. Just as the creature got ready to break me like a twig, I sliced his arm in half. The Mogu released an ear-piercing screech before I jumped on its back. Without hesitation, I pierced my lightsaber directly in his chest. I just need to catch my breath. I felt something pinch my thigh, which hurt at first until I felt the pain dwindle. I looked down to see BD-1 had injected another healing stem into my body. Luckily, the pain shooting up my body went away quickly, and I was able to sit up. That creature was no joke, BD. I felt BD-1 climb up my shoulder as I got up. The sun was slowly beginning to set, which wasn't good. As I hiked up the hills, I noticed a stone archway up ahead. Maybe I'm finally getting closer. Unfortunately, the path led to a dead end, but BD-1 tapped my shoulder to turn right, and sure enough, there was a broken bridge Turgle was talking about. We finally found the temple. Hold on tight, BD. Looks like we're gonna have to jump from here. I took a few steps back to give myself a running start. All I had to do was stick the landing. How hard could it be? I didn't waste any time overthinking as I sprinted as fast as I could. I inched my way towards the bridge. My legs were shaking ever so slightly as I jumped. Next thing I knew, my feet barely made it to the edge of the cliff as I stuck the landing. Whew! We made it, buddy. The temple definitely looked like it'd seen better days. Vines were wrapped all around it, including the entrance. What caught my eye was the symbol on the golden door. It looked like the Starbird symbol, but there were some slight differences. This one was similarly shaped with the blade of light in the center, but the outside wings were closer together. I placed my hand on the door slowly. A loud hiss came from within as the door opened. A cold breeze engulfed my body as I walked inside the temple. The door closed once I stepped onto the platform, bringing us further down. Once the platform stopped moving, another golden door opened, revealing a giant training room. It was filled with ancient symbols that even I couldn't decipher. There's something about this temple. I feel connected somehow. As I gazed around the temple, something shimmered on the other side. I walked over and bent down to pick up the object, but just as I did, I could hear voices surrounding me.
Are you sure you're ready for that?
I quickly turned to see a Jedi standing before me. A subtle glow shimmered around her body. She had short black hair, with two small braids on the ends with icy blue eyes. Her gold and black robes looked a bit frayed, like she had just got back from a war zone. She definitely didn't look like any Jedi Council member I knew. Who are you?
My name is Satil Shan. I was once a Jedi, like yourself.
Once. Wait, how are you here?
Dear child, I have passed on, but my knowledge remains. Now, Before I answer any more questions, what is your name?
I'm Cal Kestis.
Pleased to meet you. Before I help, you must be cautious of the path that lies ahead.
What do you mean?
I can't tell you everything, but before you can learn the future, you must learn the past. Take that data disk and learn the history. After that, you must destroy it.
I can't. I need to find someone.
Beware, Cal Kestis. Someone else seeks what you will soon possess.
Before I could ask her another question, Satil faded away. Agreed. Let's get out of here. Hopefully something in this data disk leads me to Anika.